Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here. And when I first saw this, I would call it a ad for Russia, and it was later touted as a tourist ad, I thought, no, this has to be a parody. It cannot be real, especially with the ending where after this kind of jovial, in-your-face, ha-ha, funny, come move to Russia ad, they tell you, hurry, because winter is coming. And if anybody out there knows anything about the phrase winter is coming, I didn't read the books, but I did watch the series. And from the inception of the series, the terminology was built around this mythos that the army of the undead was going to breach this ice wall, come back, and take over humanity. And lo and behold, that's what happens. Literally a zombie army of quote-unquote White Walkers come in and devastate the region. So this ad, I was just like, I cannot believe this is real. But then I thought, hey, it's 2022, and it actually is real. It's jabbing a lot at our now total culture of censorship that's everywhere. Let's not forget, RT was a very savvy media network that played in to the Western culture. And even then, this kind of counterculture of the media personalities that were no longer welcome at many of the mainstream outlets. The misfits, if you will. I mean, think about Larry King. There was no bigger person, mainline, than Larry King as a talk show host. You know, forget about his personal life or even his politics. At the very end, they didn't even want a guy that might go off the rails and take live calls and get a real question in. So they relegated him to quote-unquote Russian propaganda. And this happened again and again and again. And they gravitated towards people that were really asking questions. Abby Martin did a great job while she was there. Jesse Ventura had an interesting show. You don't have to agree with all these people, but it definitely tapped into that culture. So what I think they did here is they're playing up on the fact that, look, forget about Chinese-style censorship. We are in Orwell-style censorship. That's the real deal. And Jonathan Soper says, thanks for my work. Thank you for the tip over on Rockfin. Because we can't put everything on YouTube, even though we're streaming there right now. So there's actually a few videos that we're going to play here. And the bottom line is, before we play this, we have to realize we live in an Orwellian hellscape right now. What we're going to do is we're going to close it out video-wise with showing you how this is a global agenda and how reality no longer matters. So first we're going to play the Russia ad. Then we're going to show you Brian Stelter and Paul Krugman now just like joking, because it's hilarious, joking about what a recession is and whether we're in it and why it doesn't matter. I mean, it's over the top, but you had to know this was coming. So before we get going, thumbs it up, subscribe, and share if you are new to the broadcast. We give everything away for free right here. You can see Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, but I'd encourage you to check out everything. Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, of course, and Shade the Motion Picture. We're on Rockfin, Rumble, and Podbean. Let's get grooving, because it's, again, beyond parody, folks. Here we go.
This is Russia. Delicious cuisine. Beautiful women. Cheap gas. Rich history. World-famous literature. Unique architecture. Fertile soil. Cheap electricity and water. Ballet. Cheap taxi and delivery. Traditional values. Christianity. No cancel culture. Hospitality. Vodka. Economy that can withstand thousands of sanctions. Time to move to Russia. Don't delay. Winter is coming.
Don't delay. Winter is coming. And once again, I want to point out, we live in one of the most Orwellian societies out there. I'm sick of hearing about how Facebook and their fact checks are okay, or Twitter and their fact checks are okay, and YouTube and their censorship is okay because they're a private company. Bull snap. Johnny nonsense. They are Trojan horse civilian systems working with programs like signature reduction on behalf of the National Security Agency and others under those guises to censor speech and bring in a very real global predator class agenda. And that's why now the next big censorship, it's not just biomedical tyranny. No. Our economy is about to be devastated like we've never seen before. You think what we're going through right now is a big deal? Oh, they have bigger plans for you. I promise you that. So that's why the fact checkers are now taking down top economists for stating the obvious, right? It's just like this, guys. When the World Health Organization now tells you there's more than one gender, or two genders, male or female, and there's new science, that'll be the next censorship too, anybody that questions that. They're coming at us at all fronts. So I want to play frontman Krugman and Stelter. Stelter's such a clown. My goodness. Could there be more of a clown out there? I don't know. But here you go.
Laureate and economist, a distinguished professor at the City University of New York's Graduate Center, and a longtime columnist for the New York Times. Welcome to the program. Thank you for coming on.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Can we dispense with the recession debate real quick? Are we in a recession, and does the term matter?
Did you say, does the term matter? Words don't matter to these people. That is the Orwellian nightmare. 2 + 2 = 5. We've always been at war with Eurasia. Facts don't matter. In fact, they kind of talk about some of the facts. It's all about feelings now. I mean, look at this little frumpennutter over here asking if it even matters. And it is a cartoon. It is a clown show. Krugman is about to play his part beyond reproach.
No, we aren't, and no, it doesn't.
No, we aren't. So we're not in a recession, according to Paul Krugman, right? Old definitions don't matter. And in this, Stelter actually say, well, it's the technical definition. We don't go by that anymore. You get it? But it wouldn't matter if we were, because I'm Paul Krugman.
I mean,
One sentence. That was it, huh?
Yeah, that was it. It's none of the usual criteria that real experts use.
Real experts. Paul Krugman is deciding who the real experts are. Isn't that lovely? At reliable sources. Stelter looks like, and I don't know if anybody's made this equation with him, he looks like a character out of Spawn from the early days that Todd McFarlane would draw. He's similar to Billy Kincaid, only Billy Kincaid had hair and a little bit of facial hair, that would spawn into one of the violators or vindicators, basically the henchman for Malbolgia. That's what he actually looks like. The John Leguizamo clown character in the Spawn movie.
Says that we're in a recession right now, and what does matter? The state of the economy is what it is.
It is what it is. What does it matter if we're in a recession? We're not in a recession, but what does it matter? It is what it is. It is what it is.
Jobs are abundant, although maybe the job market is weakening. Inflation is high, though maybe inflation is coming down. What does it matter whether you use the R word or not?
So, once again, Russia's saying, hey, what does it matter if you're using recession? You're not going to have gas. It doesn't look like you're going to have the kind of fertilizer or land or food situation or value situation. Who cares if they're destroying you by design? And winter is coming. We got another Tipsky and Hutch from Rockfin from R. Tom. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate that. Guys, by the way, you can buy me a coffee. That really does help. $5, $10, $15. That means the world to me. I want to give a shout out, in fact, to some of the people that have bought me a coffee. Before we get back to Krugman, because again, they're going to tell you, oh, so it's the technical term for a recession. Not a big deal. So on one hand, I think Russia, by the way, is talking about economic devastation. But on the other hand, you know, that whole Ukraine thing is going on, and we're arming them further and further and further, and we're finding U.S. mercenary soldiers on the ground. Can anybody say proxy war? I mean, my goodness. My goodness gracious. Imaginator Forever, thank you so much. He says 9/11 truth and not about left or right. It's about right and wrong. Correct. We're wearing the Investigate 9/11 shirt right now. I am not heroic. Patrick O, thank you. Phil, thank you so much. Someone, friend, all you guys down the line. Bill B. DeCreek, someone. Rebecca, someone. All you someones out there, thank you so much. Let's get back to Krugman, Stelter, and his lies. Let's thumbs it up, guys.
Certainly the White House was trying to encourage reporters to use the technical definition, but certainly many are using a broader definition. So this is going to go on for a while, and I feel like everybody's playing their roles the way you would expect them to play their roles. What should the media's... Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say that this is especially vitriolic. I mean, I get, I've been in this business for a couple of decades and get lots of hate mail and see stuff. I've never seen anything as bad as this. The determination of a lot of people to say it's a recession is above and beyond anything I've ever seen.
What do you think is driving that? Just partisanship and polarization getting worse and worse every year, and thus this?
Yeah, it's partisanship. People want it. It's the Biden recession. They want their Biden recession. They're going to have it. Never mind the fact that that it in fact is not a recession in any technical sense.
Is it fair to say this is the weirdest economy we've ever lived through?
It's not a recession in any technical sense, but Stelter literally says it's the technical definition of a recession. And we could pull out, I wonder if recession is in the Charlie Brown dictionary. It probably isn't. We're not going to go there. We're going to go here. Look, I'm not saying Russia's perfect. In fact, I'm not like pro-poot-poot. I think that Russia has its own allegiance to its own New World Order. I would look at the Belt and Road Initiative right now as the infrastructure that's being brought to you via this partnership with Russia, Israel, China, that's going to build a vast infrastructure, right? But they haven't played as much into the green and climate agenda. And that is an agenda of sustainability, your standard of living going down, ever more automation and robotics coming in, as transhumanism, which they're just openly talking about all over the place. In fact, we might have to hit my Twitter at the end, where they're just casually saying by 2030, everything your phone does is just going to be built into you. It's just going to be built into you, like it or not. 2030, no big deal. Okay? So to show that this is a global agenda, I want to show this propaganda from 2020, which is, more of this great reset. This is Imperative 21, okay? And everybody get ready, because here we go. Thumbs it up, subscribe, and share, guys. Still not 100 thumbs. See, everything, inequality, insecurity, the climate, instability, and that's going to be the next fact check. Okay, you're not going to be able to question the science on why your carbon footprint is so deadly. And at the very end, we're going to have somebody who really speaks to this issue and what it means and how off these people are. But here's this is their propaganda. It's the future. It's failed us. Shareholder primacy has failed us. This is their stakeholder capitalism. This is their social credit score. This is their digital blockchain slavery. Meanwhile, Russia's joking it up and saying, get ready, gear up. This is the agenda. It's not just the United States. Okay? They're all going for it. We did that story on Israel basically banning cash transactions. I didn't know the currency rate. And it's 6,000 whatever. It's like $1,500 to $2,000. I bought a used car, cash, for like $3,500. They're looking to ban all of this. I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to go back to a constitutional republic. I want to dismiss this idea there are too many people on the earth. I want to have accountability for war criminals and people that are currently waging psychological warfare and mass genocide on the global populace. That's what I want to do. How about that? Not her. Not give up my rights, give up my freedom, stop eating meat, have the inability to have a family, let the state decide what happens to me biomedically while they take my very essence as a human being, what someone would call a soul, and replace it with cybernetics. No thanks. I'm not retreating. See, revolt. Don't dare say the revolt world unless what? You're part of the globalist plan. If you're part of extinction agenda, then you can revolt. Not if you're in the pro-human agenda. I promise you that. See?
These are the days that we want them to be.
We got a catchy song and some pretty cool graphic design. And now we're going to show you things that are green because it's the green agenda.
These are the days that we make them to be. These are the days we can't waste or repeat.
Justice. Justice. Hey, that reminds me of something. Again, this is United Nations. This is World Health Organization. This is the whole deal. It's health for peace and peace for health. And remember, we highlighted the World Health Organization. What? They're telling you there's more than two genders. Non-binary is the road to transhumanism. Again, you're going to be able to identify as a Pegasus riding up over a unicorn via a rainbow with an elf creature on your back into a pot of gold and diamonds if you want, because you can be that in the metaverse. And we're going to reset everything for justice, health for peace, peace for health. The climate is for health.
These are our days. These are our days. These are our days.
Account for stakeholder capitalism will be your slavery. That is code for a digital social credit score, and you'll be lucky if you don't end up in their World Food Program and their blockchain refugee program that they brag about.
These are our days. These are our days.
And you'll be wearing a mask inside for some reason. Still. You're still going to be wearing a mask. Well, this was in 2020. They were gearing it all up. I got to calm down. It's a lot.
These are our days.
People on planet respect it. Economic system changes. Shared well-being because they care about the bees and the flowers and the trees and your kids. Nope. No, they don't. No, they don't. A healthy planet. Again, peace for health and health for peace. Talk about Orwellian. You talk about Bernaysian. You talk about a phrase the Nazis could only dream of via their hygiene department. Health for peace and peace for health.
And not a boy.
Let's reset together. Join us to build a new operating system. I want to puke. See, everything. Co-operating system. Everything is about dehumanizing you. You're a computer. We need an operating system. Humans have failed. Health for peace and peace for health. My God. My God, indeed. So yeah, imperative21.co if you want to see that nightmare. So we're gonna end on an actual, pretty decent note. Although we should show you, before we end on the decent note of the guy challenging this and making these people look like fools. Remember, they had to make it carbon dioxide so they could criminalize everything. They didn't think people fall for oxygen. a part of our atmosphere, a life force on the planet. That's the enemy. That's the demon to these people. Can we get some thumbs up? We don't even have 200 thumbs up. We got 343 watching on YouTube. Wowza. It's a pretty big crowd these days, even though we're 68,000 strong on that platform. So let's see. Here it is right here. This is how casual they are about their fourth industrial revolution. I want to make it clear. Okay, this is how casual that these people actually are.
I wanted to ask when you all think we're going to...
Let's bring it. Let's bring that volume right up. Hold on one second.
I wanted to ask when you all think we're going to move from this form factor to something that's on your face, glasses, and when computing's all on the edge.
All right, 50 seconds. Who wants to answer quickly?
I think it will go. It will. First of all, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 2030. I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual kind of the most common interface. Wow. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
Many of these things by 2030 will be built directly into our bodies. Okay? That's why we talk about transhumanism so much. And I would say this. That was a pretty anti-transhumanist ad that Russia put out there. And it warned us, apparently, of some kind of Game of Thrones apocalypse. Winter is coming. So here I want to show, again, I want to end it on a high note. This is a gentleman just schooling these climate alarmists.
When I asked... Well, just a moment, Alice, you've been speaking for most of the night. When I asked Tanya Plibersek...
We'll fact-check that one for you.
Yes.
We'll fact-check it. See, it's hilarious. The Orwellian nightmare of fact-checks has gotten so...
When I asked Tanya Plibersek, was the Deputy Leader of the Labor Party and the potential Deputy Prime Minister, was carbon dioxide the big issue in relation to climate change? And she said yes. I then said, well, that being the case, what percentage of the atmosphere is made up of carbon dioxide? And she said, I don't know. And I said, hang on, you don't know what percentage of the atmosphere is carbon dioxide, and yet you're prepared to stand the economy on its head to address a problem, the detail of which you don't know. So when I then explained that the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, Alice, is how much? Alice, how much of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere?
To answer the question, Scott Morrison has said he believes in climate change and that he wants to do something about it.
Alice, how much carbon dioxide is the problem? How much carbon dioxide is there in the atmosphere?
I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I'm a
well, hang on. If you're going to argue the case, you ought to know. It's 0.04%. And of that 0.04%, human beings around the world create 3%. And of that 3%, Australia creates 1.3%. So for the 1.3% of 3% of 0.04%, we then decide to have a national economic suicide.
Alan, I'm happy for you to have made that point.
Right in your face. Spot on. Spot on. We're not going to get into all the logistics of it, but think about just that point alone. There's many, many points. And again, when they talk about it, it's too many people doing too many things. Right, Ted Turner? The Good Guys Club will keep us from that. You want to learn about the Good Guys Club? You can do so free of charge right now over at rockfin.com. It is pinned right here. You can check it out. We're 60,000 strong here. This is where you're going to find a lot of my uncensored stuff. You never know when they're going to take me off, when the hater's going to hate. We've been pulled off YouTube so many times. Demonetized. And by the way, we did get another tip. I want to say thank you to that. Twitchy T, thank you so much for supporting the broadcast. The other way that you can support the broadcast is to buy me a coffee. The links are down below. $5, $10, $15. It means the world to me. Once again, the documentary films are out there. Podbean, another great way, especially to see me, not only see me, but hear me, audio format-wise. And then we're Rumbling and Odyssey. We want to say thank you for backing up my YouTube channel in case they ever nuke me. I mean, we've got thousands of videos up there, and the documentary films are the real deal. So please check them out. It's not about left or right. It's about right and wrong, and let's hope that winter isn't coming to the level that Russia is alluding to. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip side.